Uncensored Radio, Real Talk Roundtable. Real life, real laughs, real talk.
Anyway, we're going to say welcome to everyone to another UCR Real Talk Roundtable. I have a lovely panel of distinguished guests with us today. We have, first of all, but always most important, Mr. Jeff Emmett. Hello.
Hello,
yes,
folks.
baby.
I think I had my period today. My stomach looks like there's a basketball in it. I just am all crampy and bloated. And I can't eat chocolate or ice cream because it'll make it worse.
So he's going to be in a great mood. Speaking of someone who's always in a great mood, Miss Marie is joining us from Florida. Hey, girl.
Finally, yes. Sorry, been busy.
We feel you. It's okay.
100 years.
I know.
Yeah, Florida is crazy. We just had a shooting and someone got killed here last week. It's just the stimulus, just Florida being open has attracted just crazy people here. So, you know, we're just trying to survive it, working in this town and living here. So, yeah.
Keep your head down and keep serving, girl.
Miss Vera,
Vera, how are you?
I'm good. I just had dinner with my peeps. I'm very full. But I know what caused my belly.
You guys, everyone's got belly problems. What about you, Katie McCarthy? You've got new hair, but that's about it.
Yeah, no belly problems here, bud.
Not tonight, anyway. So
feeling cute, maybe do a show.
Yeah, everyone's feeling cute, new hair, don't care. So I thought we would do a bit of a different show today. I read a report recently because I'm a retail worker currently and have worked in hospitality and customer service, as have many of the panel. Wave, everyone. So we had a report recently that came out in Australia that retail workers have reported a 400% increase in aggression and abuse following customer anger at retail restrictions. 400%. Now that is the Australian statistic. I also found a USDAW survey that's saying in a 12-month period, 50 to 60% of workers report at least one incident of verbal abuse, and 30 to 35% report at least one threat of physical violence. So the theme of today's show is the customer isn't always right. I think, definitely white people. But the biggest misconception in customer service is that the customer is always right, and I have never actually believed that because it infringes on a lot of different things. But we're going to start out with Marie because she is in the firing line down in Florida. So, Marie, for the viewers that don't know what you do, what do you do?
I work at a multi-million-dollar bar and restaurant here in Florida. We own about 4. So we're the mother hub, the busiest. We've been doing $100,000 weekends every single weekend. That's usually reserved for 4th of July, Memorial, and Labor Day with a short staff. So it's been interesting. Lines out the door. A customer told the waitress that she sucks, so she should go kill herself because she sucks so bad as a waitress. A manager got punched in the face because he told they couldn't sit at a table because we were on a wait. Our hostess is like 15 years old. We were opening and people were trying to come in before we were open. And we're like, no, we're trying to get set up. And so the girl's like, hey, sir, you can't sit yet. We're not open. And she's so sweet. She's 15. And he goes, well, I'll just see myself, and started screaming in her face. I said, excuse me, sir? I said, we're not open. We don't open for 20 minutes. So goodbye. Thank you. And he was just like, oh, and he walked out. I was like, yeah, you're going to be yelling at her. She's 15. Here working when most grown people won't even come to work because they're collecting unemployment. You're going to yell at a 15-year-old. So it's just been like high anxiety. And I'm always like, pick me, the fuck with police. In your place. We've had people cry. People like literally customers tell employees that they're worthless pieces of shit. This you couldn't even imagine what we're dealing with down here. And I'm just like, come get me. If you have a problem, if there's an issue, come get me. I was like, because believe me, I'll make them cry. Like, don't even. But yeah, so we've
Psycho
seen
Marie.
Yeah.
You go, girl.
No, she's just not the one, and I am the same at my job. The females just like, we've got a lot of older male customers that come in just to talk to the girls and not actually buy anything, or like they stand there for 20 minutes, 25 minutes talking absolute shit. I'm like, I got things to do. Like, if you're not going to buy anything, get like I'm that rude boy apparently. I'm like,
God.
no,
I remember
I'm not the one.
when I was 18, and it was right before my freshman year of college. I was working in a shoe department at a major retailer, and this guy shook his Jaguar keys at me to get my attention. And I look at him, I'm like, excuse me, I'm not a dog. You don't have to shake keys at me. He goes, oh, I'm sorry. I just got my Jaguar today. I'm playing with my keys. I'm like, and I'm not impressed. And I just kind of turned around, went back to my customer, and he kept shaking the fucking keys at me. Like, this is not going to work. Like, number one, you look old enough to be my grandfather. Number two, not impressed. Not impressed. Just trying to work. Please go away. Leave me alone. And let me remind you, I'm in the children's shoe department. So this guy specifically came over to me without a kid to shake keys at me. I'm practically a kid myself, and he's shaking keys at me. Like,
a friend of mine, I spent a lot of my life working in restaurants, and one of the waitresses tells the story of this customer was just being a colossal ass, talking down to her, snapping his fingers at her, just, treating her like shit. And he finally said something to the effect of, who are you anyway? You didn't do anything right in this life. She looked him dead in the eye and she said, I drive a Rolls Royce. I live on the lake and I graduated from Cornell. I must have done something right.
yeah.
Look,
course,
I had
the house on the lake was rented and the Rolls Royce was old, but
They don't need to know that.
they don't
need to know that. Hey, it still costs a lot to rent a house on the lake. So
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I had this one chick roll up into some shops when we had our little shops, and it was the 2 for Tuesday. So we were slammed. There was a line to the door, and she comes in. She orders like a ton of stuff, and she's fighting now. 2 for Tuesday, your regular customer, you know what's available, what you can get, right? And there's signs all over the place. Well, she decides okay, I can't get it for 2 for Tuesday. I want a meal deal. Well, you can't because it's double meat. Like, you can, but you gonna pay for the meat. So she's bugging out. She's like, it don't say that nowhere. So I go walking around the corner and take her over to the meal deal signs and show her where it says roast beef and bacon specifically, and you got to pay extra for the bacon bag.
Mm-hmm.
So we're walking back to the counter. She goes, that's why you work at Direct Subs. I whipped my ass around so fast, and I was like, bitch, I don't work here. I own the place, and you can take your ass out of the store right now. She looked like I just lost it. I lost it. I swore at her. I was like, get the fuck out. And then as she's walking around the door, I was like, why don't you go over to Subway? They're going to give you some free bacon, bitch. And then I walked behind the line and I apologized to everybody. And I went and got all of her food that she had. And I started giving it out to everybody in line. I was like, free food today, kids. They're all clapping. I ran in and called my business partner. I was like, you know how you say, in all these years you only flipped out on customers once or 3 times or whatever it was? She's like, yeah, why? I said, well, somebody might be calling corporate. I'm like, I'm not calling bitch. And then to tell this whole thing, I'm like, Jesus, what did I just do? But then the best part is, a couple months later, right? I get do my Instacart. Who shows up to bring my Instacart groceries? But the bitch that wanted the free bacon rolling up to my big ass house. I open the door and I just start laughing. Take the bags. But then every time she's come, I've given her a big ass tip just to be an asshole. I don't care. I know she's gonna enjoy it, but I'm like, just know, bitch, you fucked with the wrong one. I didn't care. I don't have no money. I was like, here's $10, whore.
Well,
I think it's very
I do
important for
think that-
people to realize that, though, that you know, behind the whatever job, it seems to be, especially when you're waiting on people. Like if you're an assistant of some kind. I know that my mother has a very famous story. She worked at a seafood restaurant across from the beach here at Newcastle, so very fancy, like rah rah rah. She was sitting there one day, and someone started to
Oh no.
at her,
Oh, love that.
and
Nope.
and my mum's like popped past on camera a couple of times. She's about 5'0", and like tiny woman, and she went up and, "Yes, sir. Would you like me to fetch your slippers or piss on your leg?"
That's great.
And there was no response. No response.
That is
Well,
But
I
yeah,
mean, it's not just people. I mean, as a nurse, I get that all the time. I get
You
stuff
would.
like that all the time. And there's a code now. So I ended the call. Everybody knows when I say in the email. So I ended the call. I hung up on their ass.
yeah. Well, look, it's usually if you're in
Oh,
front of
no,
like Jeffrey said, I get a little bit carried away sometimes with
You?
but-
No, I did
I
that.
know.
Well, twice, because there was at another place where Katie and I worked, and I did something crazy too. But I'll tell that one later. But here's the thing: like I taught all the employees, it's like we have an asshole tax. It was just 25 cents, but they knew, like, if somebody pissed them off, I was like, go ahead and punch that in. If somebody bitches at you, I'll take care of it. Don't worry. And sure, nobody asked for receipts, so we made an extra 25 cents off a lot of motherfuckers.
But look,
Well,
if you're ahead of it, you're
Allegedly.
fine.
Allegedly.
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 Now,
Okay.
at our place, you can name the tables anything you want. So you can name them "I'm dumb," "asshole," "bitches." So this waitress stupidly puts these girls under bitches and then prints out the receipt and gives it to them.
Oh,
Like you
rookie move.
they leave. So I said, I know, it's such a rookie move. I was like, oh
Rookie
God.
move.
Did she get a tip?
I was like, no, they went and complained to a manager, but she didn't get fired.
Well,
That's a rookie move.
But the thing is like, no, I think it's because I look scary. Nobody really messes with me. So I kind of just give them a look. And when you talk about the snapping the fingers, I go like, mm-mm. That's what I do to my tables. Mm-mm. And they're like, oh, okay.
I know.
Need something? I'm like, I'm talking to somebody. Nah.
Yeah.
So I put my finger up and start shaking my finger at him like, not a good idea to snap your
I've
finger.
seen her at work. She's a fucking crazy bitch.
I've been Marie. I was Marie for a good nearly 10 years at the one restaurant or one chain of restaurants, and people would do that to me. I'd be like, I'd walk away. I'd be like, I don't have to. I don't need it that badly.
I just want to know.
I was once called a racist because I was finishing up with a customer and I wouldn't turn around. Like, I'm literally fitting this person with a shoe, and this woman comes up behind me. "Excuse me, I need your help." And I'll be with you in just a minute. Just let me finish up. And I'm just finishing up, and finally, I get everything together, and this woman is treating me fine. And then we get to the cash register, and I cash her out, and she goes, some people might take that as a sign of racism, as ignoring.
Oh God.
Like, what?
God.
I went into the back room and I sobbed. I was so scared I was going to get fired.
I can't
for being
stand your
racist.
whole life. Let's talk about I sob because somebody called you racist.
But I wasn't a racist.
Well, bitch, you just
was
were
wo-
dealing with another customer. Like,
I was worried I was going to lose my job. That shit follows you around if someone calls you a racist.
Now that's
Listen,
not true.
You just gotta stay out of it.
I was
I
I
want everybody to know this
was also still young. This was a long time ago. Long time ago.
Said I was deliberately ignoring him, dropped another F-bomb, so I ended the call. Stay out ahead of it.
Well,
Everybody
Vera-
knows I hung up on somebody.
Vera and I worked together there for a hot minute, and I used to cause a lot of chaos up in that joint too, where we had like a log book where we would write notes or whatever, and the manager like said some shit, so I wrote her back like pages, and I was a straight asshole to her. and told her she was a hoarder and things. I saved it and sub it printed out up in my attic because I'm like, oh, this is just too naughty to get rid of. Yeah, but I
Oh, you
with
didn't leave it
Susie.
for her?
Yeah, I left it
Yeah,
for her,
no,
but then
Susie-
like I took a copy for myself so I could have it because I just thought it was funny. Because it
She
was
lives
me and my.
across the street from me, and she won't talk to me now.
Oh,
I'm just like, hi,
That's
Susie.
always good. That's always good. You've
She's
made
fucking
an
weirdo.
impression on. You've made an impression on people because I have it at the store that I work at now. They will look into the shop to see who's working first before they come in. And I'm standing at the counter going,
it's not a good thing.
yeah, all the old blokes
I don't know
come in and-
how you think retail works, but that's not good.
I don't need it. I make that money. It's all good. I have my customers that come in to spend money, not to waste time.
Right. And not to be assholes.
Because I work in retail. I may work in customer service, but I work in retail. The idea is to make a profit. It's not to sit there and be someone's therapist. I'm sorry.
Well,
Like-
I think every single job you do is got customer service.
Of
If you're a
course.
teacher, you have to do customer service. If you're a lawyer, you're doing customer service. If you're a doctor, a nurse, anything you do, you're doing customer service. But I do think that the assholes feel really empowered right now. I don't know if it's the explosion of the internet.
Trumpism.
People getting angry all the
Trumpism.
time. I don't know what it is. But people are assholes. And
I mean,
I'm just not dealing with it. So every time I hang up on somebody, I think of that scene in 16 Candles where the grandmother gets all pissed off. Young man, God did not put me on this earth to take this kind of abuse from a foul-mouthed hooligan.
Like honking in the drive-through line the other day when I was getting food, and this like they can only move so fast. So I stuck my head out the window and I yelled, "I'm die angry!" I just couldn't deal with it anymore.
But like when you're in a drive-through, you've already committed to waiting, right? So what's the point in like you can't get out and you can't
Nope.
get like you're there. Just
Nope.
sit
You're
in the
stuck.
car, bitch. If you were that much in a rush, maybe you should have I don't know, been more
Listen,
organized with your
the
life.
Drive-through is a troublemaking place because it was that one night, Katie. Were you there that night? That those
Maybe.
bunch of hooligans came through and they were like just being horrible on the squawk box, and they pull up and they spit on the window, like spit
Yes, I
on the
was
window.
there.
And I grabbed it was a cup, like the large cup filled with ice or whatever. I opened the window and chucked it in their open car window.
I remember this.
And just they they slammed on it, threw something else at the window, and they took off. And then they called the store and asked for the manager. I was like, and they're like, we just had a very rude employee. I was like, that was me. I'm the manager. Don't ever come here again. And just no, we're not doing this today. Okay, you want to? No. I mean, I would chuck people's food through. I was a little naughty there.
Were you
Out
there?
that window.
No,
Were you
the worst
there
thing I
night,
saw.
sorry. Were you there the night we were convincing some drunk patrons that they were at another restaurant instead of the one they were at?
The ones that wanted Burger King?
Yep. Okay, you were there then.
Very, very inappropriate. I'm telling you, people came to that place and they would get a show. Especially through the drive-thru. I was the manager because I wasn't the one.
He really wasn't. I don't
And
know
if
how
they
we
were
didn't get
fun,
fired.
if they were fun, I was fun right back. Yeah, but you know what? Here's the thing: we never had complaints except for the one kids that I threw ice at.
We were a good time.
And they
There's no
complain to
denying
you.
that.
Right. Yeah, they could too dumb to call back, man. I was like, please, by all means, fire me. And then I ended up quitting and leaving my shoes and everything in the office because I found out the manager had been lying for years. Years. Yeah, I didn't even work there a year. Lying for months, saying that we were all getting the same pay raise or whatever, but I had to go through and retrain everybody in the store with this new program. He was like, no, this one chick's not getting all this money. And then didn't she come in to cash her check? And I saw it and I'm like, you son of a bitch. So I wrote in the notes about how cheap he was. And then I even left the work shoes because I said, obviously your next person's going to need it because you don't pay him. I was so pissed. Oh, he didn't talk to me for years. I was like, yeah, but you didn't have a problem when you were banging my aunt. And I was like, you did, you motherfucker.
I knew that, but I forgot until you just brought it up again. Whoops.
The worst thing that they're doing down here is not having the restrooms or the places open. It's just drive-through. So we're going through a drive-through and we see a Spanish woman. She has her butt out of the car. So we're like, what is she doing? She starts peeing in the parking lot through her bathing suit, and her husband's like throwing a towel at her. Like, here you go. We're like, what the heck? It just happened. We're like, oh my God. We're waiting so long in line that she couldn't hold it anymore. So she just, in front of everybody. I was like, oh, interesting.
Oh man, I have stories about people going into the dressing room and not getting undressed. Let's just put it that way.
Why do people shit in dressing rooms? I've heard that a lot.
No.
I've heard that a lot.
Yes, no joke. And these would range from older people who I would kind of understand maybe they're confused to younger people who were just assholes, just taking a dump. Right.
It happened once at a shop that I worked at, but not the store I worked at, but for the business that I worked at. And it wasn't like a shitty business. It was quite expensive stuff they were selling. But apparently this lady went in and just pissed all over the floor in a dressing room.
See, I was an asshole.
Oh, go.
It would never occur to me.
Floor.
Well, I would get
Yeah, I
laid in
don't.
there,
When
but I wouldn't
people would
pee
like
in there.
blow up the bathroom, it's all freezing for me.
Okay, no, you're right. We can hear you, Jeff.
Yeah, we can
bathroom.
Well, people would like tear up the bathroom at the sub shop, and I would go chasing them.
Oh my God.
Like I'm not the one. They're like, you need to go clean that up because nobody here gets paid enough to go clean your shit up.
Oh my
That
God.
was
No
the thing. 'Cause
way.
this one dude, he would just come. He would come like a couple times a week, and he would just come in
To take a
use the
shit.
bathroom, not buy anything, and he would blow the bathroom up. When I say blow it up, I mean everywhere. It was like he was doing some artwork in there. Okay, like the little old bitch.
you
was
like
like,
that.
Someone did that.
There he is.
Someone did that at our former place of employment, and I was so pissed off that I had to be the one to clean it up. It was
That happens a lot at my job. That happens a lot at my job. An old man was shaking doodle balls out of his pant leg all the way to the bathroom. They're
Oh,
doodle balls.
Oh
It was
God!
going everywhere.
What I
It's
don't
bad.
understand is like how it gets on the walls. Like, what are you doing?
So my
What are you
cousin
doing?
shared a story. He went to Japan. And he said that he had eaten some sushi and it was like fresh stuff, whatever. Well, he's walking back to where he's staying and he realizes like, oh God, I ate something really bad. He said he couldn't make it to the toilet and he didn't sit down before it started shooting out and went all over the place. So I guess it's if you don't get down on the toilet in time, I guess that's how it happens. I don't know. That's what he told me.
there also is a psychological condition where you do smear.
Well, I mean, it's not even like near the toilet. I mean, it's in front of it. It's to the sides. It's behind you. It's like, what are you doing? And, okay, I'm just gonna blow the spot up. Literally, it was Taco Bell, so I kind of understand.
Well done.
Well, yeah.
I remember I went as a child, as like a 15-year-old child. I only cleaned up one bathroom and never again. I was like, I had gloves everywhere.
Oh,
and like,
it's just
but
bad.
when at the restaurant when I used to work, I don't know if this has happened to you, Marie. We've had like grown people, like grown adults. This woman walked into the bathroom and vomited from the door of the bathroom all the way into the toilet. And the manager's like, "Oh my God, you like she thought she had food poisoning or something." She's like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" She goes, "I ate too much."
No, we
I'm like, you're an adult. How do you eat too much?
I clean up in the winter when we cut our cleaning crew down and we're the cleaning crew. I probably clean up vomit once a week, at least once. Left there and dry and nasty. And I mean, I don't really, and I help other people, other servers clean up puke, but I draw the line at poop. I'm not doing it. I don't care. I will walk out if you try to make me go in the bathroom and clean up shit. I will not do it. I'll clean up.
This is why I never wanted to work at a bar because I can't handle vomit. I cannot do it. Like I can handle my own. I can handle
There's
my
stuff
children's.
now. You sprinkle it on
Can't do
there.
it.
It dries it up and you just sweep it up. It's really
Yeah.
easy. It's not hard, you know. You just get a broom and a dustpan. sanitizer.
We would just
No.
What's this?
if they were passed out in the corner, we would just take the mop and mop their bodies up.
Oh, Jeff, did I tell you the story of? So this was before I gave birth in 2019. It was probably like my last week of work, and I'm at the front desk, and there's an elevator right in front of me where I work. So this one attorney that I work for runs in, and he just says, "There's shit in the elevator," and I thought he was messing with me because, at that stage of my pregnancy, I've got spidey senses. Like I can smell it, I can hear it, I can see it. Like I can just everything. So I think he's messing with me. I walk over to the elevator. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. And I don't even know who did it, but oh my God, that elevator smelled like shit for weeks. And it wasn't, it was clean. Like it was spotless. Like it smelled like bleach and shit. Like it was probably just like psyching myself out, but I just couldn't do it. Oh my God.
I got Jeffrey. I sent him a video of remember the bathroom at AJ's with all the doo-doo? Remember I sent you that video?
Oh, I shared it with everybody.
It was terrible.
I put it in the war room or whatever. Everybody was losing their mind.
No. It was disgusting.
It was gross.
That poop actually happened at one of the stores I work at now. They actually had to close the shop because this guy just left a trail.
Oh God!
Like a trail and walked out and kept walking up the shopping center, and there's just a slick trail, and they're like, we can't do anything about it. It won't, like, the smell won't go away. People won't walk into the shop, and they're just like, just shut for the day. Like, just shut for the day. We'll hire a cleaning crew to come in there because I was like, I don't. Yeah, as I said, once I did it once, but yeah. But the one thing that seems to really bring out the complete asshole in people is Christmas time, right?
Oh,
Christmas time is usually
Black Friday, Christmas time.
Black Friday. From Black Friday onwards, everyone gets their asshole caps on and just comes out merrily. I've had so I work in music retail. So I work in a shop where they sell CDs, folks, and DVDs. Remember those things back in the day?
I used to do that back in the day.
Yeah. So I remember being at work. I think it was 4 Christmases ago. We had people out the fucking door, crazy lineups, and this woman decided to come and try and sneak up on the side. And I said, "I'm really sorry, you'll just have to jump in line." So I served my customer, turned around, heard this banging noise, and heard people in the line gasp. I was like, "Oh, someone's fallen over and fucking killed themselves." I've turned around super quick, like, and my customer, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah." What? She goes, "She just threw those DVDs at you." I'm like, "Well, she didn't get me." So she's just lobbed DVD cases at me as she walked out of the line and was screaming, "Fuck you! This is fucking ridiculous." I was like, waving. I'm like, "Bye now."
Those were
People
that was
lose
probably
their
one of
shit.
my favorite jobs, mostly because of the softcore porn titles. My favorite one was the Bear Wench Project.
Oh, interesting.
Which has nothing to do with terrible customer service, but that is like my favorite memory is sorting the softcore.
Yeah, I had one of my friends. This guy comes in and goes, "Wait, this is going to be very Australian because this is exactly how he sounded."
Crikey.
"Got any porn?" And she thought he said born, like as in the Born Identity. She goes, "Yeah, I've got the Born Identity, the Born Supremacy." And she's like, "No, pornography." I was like, "Oh, we don't carry that." She's like, "We don't carry that kind of thing. I'm sorry." Scratch me nuts, walk out. It was so funny. It was one of the funniest things I've seen.
No, thank you.
But just some of the things that people. I literally had a nearly 5-minute argument with a woman the other day about her having bought a DVD like months ago that came out on Monday. She goes, "I have this DVD." I said, "You couldn't have this DVD." She goes, "I bought it last time I was here." I'm like, "I unpacked it on Monday. Did you come in on Monday? No. I said, well, you don't have it. You don't have. She's like, but I have this cover. I'm like, you wouldn't. This went on for like 5 minutes. I'm like, why do people not trust?
Why
the
would you
people
even argue
that
with her,
work?
fool?
Because she was
Because
she
he
was
had
telling.
time.
No. She was having to go at my manager saying that we sold her the wrong thing.
Oh, okay.
I could give two fucks about it, but like I'm like, don't have a go at people. Like we're here every day. We know what we sell.
Oh,
Yeah,
Like
right.
I'm not making shit up, and then like stuff that's not even out at the movies yet. Have you got Fast and the Furious 9? I'm like, has it been at the cinemas? Like the cinemas are open in
It
Australia.
was terrible. It was terrible.
The
Hasn't
cinemas
even
are
come
open
out
here in
yet.
Australia. I'm like,
They're open here. Everything is opening up here.
I know, but like when
That's why I was
in
out
history, when in history before COVID-19 has a movie been available for home rental before it's gone to the movies ever?
Well,
Never.
No, but you know, before the last 18 months,
Bootleg,
but
yeah.
before the last official sale, I'm talking.
Fair
Like we all
enough.
know that the old Pirate Bay, you know, good times
Yeah.
on Pirate Bay,
so many viruses.
or like Game of Thrones. I had a woman. No, actually, last week I had a woman argue with me that there was 11 seasons of Sex in the City. I'm like, no.
No.
What?
No, honey.
She goes, I've got the box set. It's got 6 sets. It's got the 6 seasons and the 2 movies, but I want the rest of them. I'm like, there's no rest of them.
There's no rest. Yeah.
Not
She goes,
yet.
no, there's 11 seasons. I watched the other ones on TV. I'm like, well, you couldn't have because they
You did
physically don't exist.
You
She
did
goes,
not.
oh no, I've
Yeah.
seen them.
No, you didn't.
I'm like,
Well, I get all the time. I get patients calling up and saying, "This doctor gave me this med. Can you give it to me?" I'm like, "No, I can't. I have no record of you ever being on that med." She's like, "Well, I just told you what I was on." I said, "I can't take an order from you. I have to have it from another medical professional." She just
Nope.
like,
You know what my favorite is, and Steve, I know you can relate to this. When you walk out of the back room and a customer comes up to you and says, "Can you check the back for this?" "Oh, we don't have it." "Can you go in the back?" "Bitch, I was just there. It ain't back there." "Well, can you go look anyways?" "Yeah,
Well,
fine."
because so many people lie.
Yeah.
but
But
the
you
funny thing,
literally
You
just
take your
walk
ass back
out
there
of
and
the
look
store.
too. I don't trust you.
No,
So,
like you literally just walk out the back room and they're asking you to go check, and like, I was literally just back there. It's not there. We'll go check again. No.
the new thing that people are doing.
They're stupid.
yes.
No, go check again.
Listen, the new thing that they're doing now to
Well,
restaurants.
actually, that's wrong.
No,
go Ray.
no, the
Keep
new
going,
thing
Maria.
that they're doing now is they're a party of say 20 or 30 people. They're coming in and say there's about 8 of them, and they're like, "Oh, hey, yeah, we got 8 people. Okay, so we'll sit you guys. That's fine. We can do that." Next thing you know, 20 other people walk in, start pulling tables,
Oh,
jumping all over stuff, doing stuff, and we're like, "Excuse me, what are you
No.
doing?"
Oh no.
no.
Like you were
No.
8 people. Like they're like, "Oh no, it's like 25 now." Like we have like 25.
No.
We're like,
No.
the rest of your people can go to wait behind all those other people all the way out the door. I mean, and they're lying so that they can get a table ahead of time. And so we're dealing with that. And then twice now, I've had old men pass out. Why do they pee? And pee in my section. I've had to clean up pee. Twice
Oh,
now.
no.
"Oh God."
Oh no.
Marie, you'll appreciate
They
this.
like
No.
I never used to sit in complete parties because I was the host at the front door. So when people would come in, I'm like, you can wait until your entire party is here because I am not playing this game. Because
So
it
they
happened
know that you're doing that. They know
Yeah.
you're doing that. So you skate around it. They're lying and then they're
Oh.
bullying their way in. And these hostesses are, and they're like fighting with them. And they're like, "Yeah, we're just going to pull this table. Yeah, we're just going to do this. Oh yeah, we're sitting with them. There's nothing you guys can do about it." It's like, I'm like,
We can
do you,
kick
need
you
me to
out.
do you need me to go over there?
I think
Do you need me
that-
to go over there? Do you need me to go over there?
I mean, we
That's
can
the
kick you
perfect
out.
word, Marie. Bullying. They are bullying.
Yes.
Exactly. That's the
These
thing.
people know that they're not
They are.
invincible. Like, you can be removed from the store. You can be removed from the restaurant. You are not invincible. You treat
Well,
people badly, you will be removed.
And they put signs up now that says, "We're running with a short staff. Our people showed up to work. Treat them better, whatever." And I'm like, I don't need a sign. You ain't gonna fuck with me. So just go ahead if you want to. But, I mean, it's just been a lot of like crazy, you know, and people, I get it. You don't want to wait. Well, everybody's waiting. Like you said, in the drive-through, you're waiting.
Bitch,
And
you have to wait. This
Yeah.
is, it's
Leave.
the real world.
If you don't like it, leave.
yeah.
Marie,
It's
are you allowed to wear like flare, like pins on your uniform? Because I'm gonna get you one that says "Not today, Satan."
No. I don't think that they would really care. Like, I mean, as long as it's like AJ's shirts and stuff, like in the right colored pants, they let us wear like different kinds of, you can wear hats, you can wear this, you can wear that. I mean, I'm just trying to be comfortable because I'm in there going in for a lunch shift and selling $2,000. So it's been like, 11 to 4. And these girls are going in and working 12 to 7, 12 to 8, selling $4,000 worth of crap. Like it's insane, and you just go home and you're defeated. And then you got to go back the next day. And I had a table like, oh, well, we don't want you to leave. I'm like, this is day 8 in a row for me. I'm surprised I haven't hurt anybody yet. I'm going home. And they're like, oh, God, go home. I'm like, yes. I mean, they do a disclaimer for me when new employees start. They're like, have you met? I said, crazy bitch right here, crazy bitch right here. Yep, this is me. You're going to meet me real soon, crazy bitch. And this new kid goes, I love crazy bitches. And my manager's like, oh, Lord. I was like, yes.
Crazy for you.
Yeah. We also, I don't know if Jeffrey told you, we have pet squirrels.
No.
Wait. Time out. Where are these squirrels?
They hang out all over the place. So we're outside bar. So they'll be out front. They'll be here. They'll be there. So they know me, but I think by my hair and how I talk to them. So I'm always like, hi, baby. And they come and they take peanuts out of your hand, and they come to you and whatever. So I'm walking up with a bunch of boxes.
You motherfucking Snow White.
And I'm like sitting here like, oh, baby. Like, and he runs to me and I have no peanuts for him. So I'm carrying stuff. And I'm like, oh,
going to have a seizure.
Yes. I sent Jeffrey a picture of my pet squirrel sitting on the computer while I was like doing stuff. Yeah. And so I said, oh, baby, I'll be right back. And it jumps down, starts going after one of the dishwashers and won't let him go down the stairs because he's like, you're going to give me a damn peanut. The guy's like, oh my God, like he don't know what to do. So the squirrel goes and runs and has Lisa trapped on the catwalk. Okay. And she's screaming and hollering. And the manager,
that's amazing.
It was like, what's going on out here? And she's like, give it a nut, just give it a nut. It's trying to get me. Like it was like, they'll run up your legs, they'll like be all over you because they want.
I don't know if I'd call that a pet more than a nuisance.
Yeah,
that kind of sounds like my kids.
It kind of sounds like lube. Where at some point in the movie, you're just like, somebody give him a nut, give him a nut.
I'm like,
No,
yeah, this we're all screaming at each other. Someone get the squirrel.
Oh, you
she
bad.
got that black hair, that white skin bitches. She is Snow White.
She is Snow White.
We had a very similar thing at the restaurant I used to work at, but they weren't pets. They were just happened to, sneak in every now and then because we had peanuts all over the floor back in the day, as you did.
Mm-hmm.
And there was always this one table that, like, you'd see a mouse and, okay, that's not great in a restaurant. But after they'd done the poisoning and whatnot, there was always this one booth that was a mouse would die in the back corner. And I worked for that company for nearly 10 years. I was like, yeah, I've seen my fair share of dead mice. We went in there. So the business changed hands. It changed restaurants completely, like changed franchises. And then it went back to what it was. And we were walking out one day and we hadn't been there for years. I looked into the corner of that booth and there was a dead mouse there. I was like, represent. Nice to see that things stay the same, no matter how,
When you're outside, it's really hard because Florida's state bird should be a palmetto bug, the ones that fly, everywhere. And we call them the state bird. So I'm taking my trash out last night and I keep it by the road. I do not let my trash cans by my garage or my house. And I'm just like, I didn't put bleach in it this week because I ran out. I had to go store get bleach. I keep bleach in my trash cans. If you live down south, put bleach in your trash cans. It'll keep away the flies. It'll keep away the palmetto bugs, roaches, whatever you want to call them. So I go and I put the trash, put the thing, something jumps on my hand like that. And I'm like, what the fuck? it flies back at me, jumps on me again. I'm out here like flicking this shit off me. My neighbors probably think I'm sniffing bath salts or some shit. And I'm screaming and jumping around. I run to the light and I'm like this, shaking out my clothes, like, is it in my fucking pants? I'm like, where'd the bitch go? Like, because they will get in your clothes. And I was like, going like this in my hair, like, did the motherfucker fly in my hair? Felix sees all this on the doorbell cam, sends me a screenshot and says, what the fuck is going on? I said, bitch, I was being attacked. I was being attacked by a damn palmetto bug and trying to bite me. It was on my hand and wouldn't leave me alone. I was that shit, I'm out of here. I was like, make sure he ain't.
Felix, your husband's name is Felix, right?
Yes.
Okay, Felix,
He's like,
if you're watching this, we need that video.
Yeah.
I was in my pants. Like, it's a
Yeah.
That needs to go on the Christmas reel.
I'll put
They
Oh,
will go in your clothes. You'll think that you get them off of you. This kid told me, Marie, I thought I got that June bug. I said, call it what it is. It's a damn roach. He's like, I thought I got it off of me. And the next thing I know, it came out of my shirt and was climbing down my arm. I was like, ah! I was like, I can't. They're so disgusting. You have no idea. And they're huge. And they're nasty. And they
The
fly.
last time we went to Florida, I think what are they called? Kissing bugs or something like that?
Oh, love bugs. Yeah, those
Love
are.
bugs, yes. Those were obnoxious. They were everywhere. I
They're
couldn't
harmless.
Oh, I know they're harmless, but they're everywhere. Like they're
Well,
all they were mating. I know. It was the mating
Yeah.
season.
I don't
And then-
like the rats that swing in the palm trees. That freaks me out.
Oh no, there's a
They
lot
need
of
to
rats
witness
out
that.
there. There's rats everywhere.
We
There
need
it's
to witness that.
there's rats.
I want to go to Florida simply for when it gets cold and like all the iguanas like fall out of trees and stuff frozen. I want to see that shit. I want to see that shit.
There's disclaimers now. They have signs everywhere telling you not to put them in your car because then you warm them up and then they start attacking people and cause car accidents. So you have to also leave them alone. My
It's like
husband
Jurassic
teaches
Park.
Yes, he
That
teaches
is very
big.
Jurassic Park.
Clever girl.
Let me tell you, my daughter had a Unique had a palmetto bug in her room at Stephanie's house, and she chased it around her room for 20 minutes. It went in her closet. She was ripping it all apart. It was inside a shoe, jumped out at her. Then it got stuck in one of her strapless bras, and she was beating it. And then after she chased this thing for like 20 minutes, how she caught it is it started aggressing her and coming at her. And then she finally was able to like beat it dead. I've broken so many brooms. Bugs on here. I'm telling you, they're the scariest things. If you're a northerner, they are the scariest damn things you've ever come across. And they bite. They bite. That's the craziest thing. They do. They bit my manager in her neck. My bug guy said he played in a ditch when he was a kid and he was attacked and they bit him all over the place because he fell into a nest.
Ooh.
Those jokers bite. Like some.
All right, so we've put the blame squarely on the customer for a lot of it, but for a lot of drama. But there is times when you know something that you did wrong is your fault, and you just have to roll with it. I've told this story before on the show about I was training a girl at the restaurant, and she did her own section for the first time, and I was just kind of standing back. And she went and asked this couple if they wanted dessert. And like, oh no, we're so full. And this girl reached over and rubbed this woman's stomach and said, "It's okay, you're eating for two now." Bitch wasn't pregnant.
Oh.
Bitch wasn't pregnant. I was like, what are you doing? She's like, I don't know. I was trying to make conversation. And then before I knew it, I was touching her stomach. And then she's not pregnant. And so we gave her free dessert. So she was fine. It's just like,
that would probably win me over too, honestly.
the same girl was serving a plate of cheese fries to the customers. And the top plate is, as hot as a motherfucker because it's just been under a salamander grill. It slipped off the bottom plate. I saw it flew into the air. She grabbed it, managed to put her hand in the middle of the fries so the burning hot fries didn't get anyone. But the ranch dressing went down this woman's back, down the back of her shirt, all through the back of her shirt, all down the back of her pants. I was just like, oh my God.
That's
She
not
was
good.
furious. We had to pay for dry cleaning and
Oh
everything.
God.
And she's like, this girl's got this burning hot handful of cheese fries. She's like, huh. I'm like, go out the back and throw it out. She's like, just like, oh, dear.
Do you guys eat raw oysters?
No.
So disclaimer. I work in an oyster bar, so there's a disclaimer when you eat oysters to be careful because there's pearls in them sometimes. A guy broke his crown from a pearl, and we were like, we'll pay your dentist bill. We're so sorry. He's like, no, I have insurance. He's like, don't worry about it. We're like, oh my God, you just broke your tooth in here. Like,
You should have kept that pearl, see if it was valuable.
you find them all the time. They're all different colors, but
You
he
ain't sent me a
broke his
pearl
tooth in.
necklace?
We all know Jeffrey loves a pearl necklace.
Yeah.
No girl should be without a set of nightgown pearls.
Oh dear. I know. Oh well, guys, I think that's been a very productive conversation on the thrills of customer service. I'm sure there's much more we could tell, but thank you for joining us today, everyone. We'll love everyone and leave everyone, and it's been real. So be nice to your servers is the general idea. I think we can tell everyone. Yeah, be nice to and your nurses. Just be nice to everyone, unless they're an asshole to you, I guess is
Basically,
really
if
how
you
we'll
want
go.
their help, you should be nice to them.
Yeah.
I would suggest not fucking with your server so they don't spit in your food. Or
Exactly. Never fuck. That's rule number one.
why
Don't fuck
would you
with
mess
people who
with your
touch your food.
server? I would never
Watch
do
waiting.
something like that. But like, shit, exactly. Like
Yeah.
I do
That
not
was
mess
my
with
life.
servers. I'm like, oh, thank you. You know, I tip well. Be nice to me. Fuck up my food. Like,
All right, kids, you take it easy, and we'll see you all again soon. Bye now. Look, I've got one thing to say.
Poor
to you.
Godfrey.
Let me speak to your manager.